Far better than a rampage.
That silence was the best money can buy.
Far better. In other words, you just don't have to figure it all out, and you just don't have to convey anything to anybody. You just what you want to do is just be who you are, and who you are is God. Who you are is love. Who you are is love. Who you are is value. Who you are is capable of anything you desire. Who you are is the center of the universe. Who you are is the hub, not the spoke. Who you are is the source out here on the leading edge. Who you are is an extension of source energy who gets to sift through the details for the pleasure and delight of doing it. Who you are is the extension of source who feels only appreciation for wherever you are. Who you are is an extension of consciousness that does not seek to prove value and worthiness to anyone, who just bees. That's who you are. Who you are is an expression of consciousness who can take it into any pleasing place, but not because you're supposed to, but because you want to, you see. We think that being in an environment like this, where there are so many things that are just done for you, in other words, isn't it nice? Don't make your bed for a little while. In fact, if you really want to have fun, tell your cabin steward not to make it either. If you really want to have fun, tell your cabin steward to only do what he wants to do. If he says, "What can I do for you?" say to him, "Do only what you want to do." Say to him, "That is what I am practicing on this cruise, and I wish that for you as well. Do only what you want to do." And if you say that to a brilliant chef, he will prepare food for you that will knock you out. If you tell that to anyone who is in a creative mode, if you say, "Do only what you want to do," the beauty and the brilliance that they will present to you will please you in any possible way. In other words, if you could start the trend by teaching through the clarity of your example that you do what you want to do. Yes, I want to feed my children, and I want to be an example of well-being to my children, but I do nothing from commitment anymore. I do only what I want to do. Now, through this week, it will be interesting to watch your cabin steward, because he is not oriented that way. He is doing what he needs to do, you see. But as you say to him again and again, "I want you to do what you want to do," what you will begin to notice is he will not necessarily do less, but he will feel better in the doing of it, you see. You are, even though you are the passengers and the guests on this ship, you're really not so different from the hard-working crew who is on this ship, because you are bound with all of these shoulds and shouldn'ts, what I need to do, what I should do, what I'm responsible to do, you see. And so it can be a very fun juxtaposition of passengers and crew as you let them know that you really mean it, that you wish for them to do only what they want to do. And many of them will begin to convey to you that they are doing what they want to do, that pleasing you is what they are wanting to do. But it's a different thing when you are soliciting from people what they want to do rather than demanding from people what they have to do. It's an entirely different world that shows itself to you, you see. You see what we were getting at? It's the difference between vibrating yourself into a point of attraction where the universe yields to you the cooperative components. When you do only what you want to do, the cooperative components that play with you are only those who want to be there. Isn't that a delightful thought? Wouldn't you like to have only the people around you who want to be there and none of the people who feel like they need to be there? Wouldn't you like to relieve everyone of the responsibility that you have formerly told them that they are responsible to you, wouldn't you like to convey to them that you have discovered the art of being a cooperative component to your own stream, to your own source, to your own well-being, to your own worthiness, to your own expansion, to your own evolution? You are a cooperative component to such a degree that everything else is irrelevant, and you are allowing the law of attraction to be the concierge, to be the manager that brings to you other cooperative components. And under those conditions, only those who want to be there will be there. That is the recipe for the perfect world, you see. It's not demanding that others do only what they want to do. It is being so clear that you are doing what you want to do, and it is your desire that others do what they want to do, that you have around you always this nucleus of those who are doing what they want to do. It is the formula for living happily ever after. Not one of you came into this physical body because someone said you should. You should have seen the stampede of those like you who want to be here in this physical experience. And we have in our rampage that you have inspired deconstructed thought enough that you are feeling it, some of you, more closely than you have felt it since that stampede into your physical body to begin with. So, why am I here? For fun and interest and expansion. Is there something I need to do? Not one thing. Are there things I want to do? Lots of them. Are there others like me? Lots of them. Will law of attraction help us rendezvous? To a large extent, that has happened already. I'm source energy in a physical body, living in the perfect environment at the perfect time, interacting with the perfect set of other creators for the purpose of taking thought joyously beyond that which it has been before. I came because I wanted to be here, and I've just renewed that desire to be here. So,
Thank you.
what is the time?
34 minutes and 50 seconds.
What is the time?
4:43.
We're going to bring this gathering to a closing because we want to. We feel complete satisfaction in what we've accomplished here together today. We think it has been the perfect beginning of a new vibrational set point for you. We do not think that there's a better place on the planet for you to be than on board this ship with each other. We do not think that there's a better time for you to have rendezvoused with the surroundings of this environment, with one another, and with your own source energy. It is our promise to you that the days that follow this day will be without exception the best days of your physical experience so far. There is great love here for you. It is delicious for us to play with a group like you who are willing to open yourselves wholly to the unusualness of the conversation that we just had and move into a vibrational place on a stream of complete trust and expectation of well-being. It was truly a beautiful thing to witness, and it is our promise that it will serve you well. There is great love here for you. And for now, and as always, we remain incomplete.
Greetings. There is an experience that has great power to change and raise my vibrational frequency and pull me toward the vortex effortlessly, and that is listening to music. And it might be Beethoven, and it might be Michael Bublé, and I don't think it's Lady Gaga, but it could be, I guess. Can you speak to us about the power and the potential of music?
Well, in your physical environment, where you are interpreting vibration through your physical senses, the most resonant vibration is that of sound. Now, it's actually a lower frequency than that of sight, but it's sort of like, and this is a scanty analogy, but it's sort of like when Jerry and Esther set the music in their homes or in the monster bus, they always set the bass extra loud because they like that feeling of that movement in the music. And so, in like manner, the vibration of sound in and of itself is a more tactile experience. In other words, it just is. Of course, visual is wonderful, but sound is more moving. Now, having said that, if you're out of frequency with who you are, nothing sounds good. So it's a bit of a question of whether you're in the vortex and then that makes you seek the music, which just causes you to soar higher, or if the music has the ability to meet grumpy outside the vortex. Now, remember earlier we were talking about how if you've been in the vortex and you've been affirming inside the vortex, then next time you're out of the vortex, you can pick up one of those affirmations and just the resonance of the affirmation can take you back in. And that's what's happening with the music. Because you have tuned to the higher frequencies because of so much of this music that you love, now you're able to use it as a tool to get back in because you've tuned yourself so well. You wouldn't be able to do that if it was just the first time you heard a happy tune.
So we're pre-paving with
music. You're pre-paving. That's an excellent way of stating it. You've pre-paved it. And so it's an easy way for you to get to where you want to be. Now, there's more about music that we'll want to say to you, and that is, and you alluded to it in your opening fun about Lady Gaga, and we're not using Lady Gaga as an example of someone who is not in the vortex, but there is music. There is music there are music of protest that's always out of the vortex. There is music of drama and trauma that is out of the vortex. In other words, there's music that is written to heighten your sense of fear. There's music that's written, that they score music in order to elicit emotion from you. You are so understood to be led by the vibration in music that people who make movies actually know what to put there when the shark is coming. You see. So when you realize that every songwriter, every music maker has a relationship with their vortex, and if you are in the vortex and soaring with someone, then you must know they were in the vortex when they created it, and you are rendezvousing on that very, very deep level with them. It's why you can walk through a gallery, and depending upon the active mood, your mood is just your vibration, yes? Your active mood, you're drawn to different things. You ever bought a painting that you loved, and then later you wondered what was I thinking? What was I thinking? You weren't thinking. You were rendezvousing vibrationally. Very good.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Good time for a segment of refreshment.